What's up, y'all? Kyle Hamilton here. I want to give a quick shout out to Lucas, Connor, and Ryan in the Week 0 podcast.
Jackson rolling out, 3rd and 7 after the penalty, and it's a completion to Kuma. He's still running. Kuma breaks free against a tire defense as the Hokies deliver the dagger here in Tallahassee. Empty look for Richardson. Oh, that is danger! Oh my! Keidron Smith cuts inside, and he's gonna pick six it in the swamp. Cat scratch Fever Smith.
DJ is picked off, intercepted again by Benjamin Morrison. Here goes Morrison down the sideline. Can he go? Yes, he can. Touchdown, pick six, Benjamin Morrison. Nix drops back underneath. Touchdown, Ducks. Wow. Chase Taylor.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Week 0 podcast. For the third time today, we have a stream going on. I am top left box / less happy VT man. To my left is Ryan. We'll think of any way to, come up with a stupid excuse for why Notre Dame lost, man. And of course, below us is Phil. Jim didn't do anything wrong, man. So,
Wait, what? My name has nothing to do with Notre Dame. It's basketball season, Connor. What are you talking about?
I was trying to say like less happy VT man. I was trying to do something like
what's hilarious?
It should have been Ryan Delusional Man.
You know what's hilarious? I saw a post today from some like random big Twitter account, and they're like college football team fans that don't wish for basketball season to start, and they had Notre Dame on there. I was like, bro, what do you mean? This was basketball season. We were 1-0.
Right. You know who isn't? Who just can't catch a break?
Who?
Poor little bro them.
Bro, they lost to James. They lost to James Madison in basketball. That's crazy.
You know what? I saw someone suggest this is that they should have every year they should have a little like a early season tournament between all of the Virginia schools, so like JMU, Virginia Tech, Virginia in basketball.
Virginia Tech and Virginia can win at everything?
No, I feel like VCU or JMU
would Richmond sometimes. Even George Mason had a good run one year.
Yeah, George Mason, James Madison. Virginia and Virginia Tech. At least Virginia's was down bad last year. They were not
a lot.
Team.
You know what's crazy? The ACC as a conference was down last year. We sucked.
Right.
Did you guys see Louisville had to hit a buzzer beater to beat UMBC at home?
No, I didn't.
Hey.
They're retrievers
from Maryland. UMBC. You can't ever.
Didn't they upset Virginia in the
Virginia
back in 2018? Yeah.
You can't ever.
They blew out the number one team in the country and then got blown out the next week.
Yeah.
Who? UMBC?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
I thought they got beat the very next week. It wasn't close.
Well, they lost the next game, but that was like they lost by like I want to say like 10. It wasn't a blowout. And then Fairleigh Dickinson. Didn't they win 2 games last year?
Well, they beat Kentucky, I believe.
Yeah, they beat Purdue and then they beat Kentucky. They won. They made it to the second round.
It's crazy. Kentucky's lost in the tournament back-to-back years to St. Peter's and Fairleigh Dickinson.
Like a 15 and a 16 seed.
Wow. Kentucky's not a basketball school.
Josh is just happy he's not here, or else we'd be making fun of him. So
yeah, for sure.
Let's get into this. So, well, of course, we need this going right here. I think we should start off with Clemson beating Notre Dame.
No.
Yes. Yes. I think we need we should start off with this. Ryan, how was it seeing that in person?
I'll go last. You guys go first.
We'll go last. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Clemson offensively was a little hit or miss. They had 2 really nice long drives that were 75 yards both times. I think they either got a touchdown at the end of both, or touchdown and field goal. But man, like Hartman, he finished like what 13 of 30 or something. Like was not good at all, and it was just bad. Didn't play for me. But yeah, Hartman's been wasted. I think Notre Dame's kind of historical philosophy of power running doesn't bode well, doesn't work well with him. And you guys weren't using Estime as much as you should have. And then also, I don't know, it wasn't like the play action wasn't working very well. He was just missing on a bunch of throws.
Estime only had 12 carries. Take that into account.
He needs 20 plus. He needs 20 plus. He's a bell cow.
12 carries, 130 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Give him 20, 25, and he gets 250 probably.
All
Phil?
right.
Yeah. So this game, obviously, I actually picked Clemson. I think I was the only one to pick Clemson. It's one of the weird ones I picked that I won on. I just felt like they could win this game. Notre Dame really, and a lot of it came down to Notre Dame really not having anything to play for, I guess, other than a New Year's Six bowl. But the CFP, like it or not, has diminished bowl games to some degree. And I knew Dabo would really want this game, especially coming off the week that he had. So it played out like a little different than I thought it would play out, as Notre Dame did get back into it and made it interesting down the stretch there. And probably, I'll be honest, probably should have won this game. But I think, and I told you, we spoke about this before, Ryan. Marcus Freeman, I think, is going to be a great coach. And I don't want to take anything away from him. However, I do think his inexperience as a coach comes through in these moments where it's obvious and apparent. Granted, Sam Hartman didn't do you guys any favors, and he has been a massive disappointment. I think Connor touched on that a little bit. Sam Hartman is underachieving at this point in the season, and it has been kind of I won't call it a waste. You guys are gonna end up winning 9-10 games in the end, but it's a disappointment to say the least, right? You guys were thinking CFP challenging for college football championship in the beginning of the season, and that's just not gonna happen now.
Oh, you won't say it, Phil. I'll say it. Sam Hartman's trash. Sam Hartman is trash. I was the biggest Sam Hartman defender. I was the biggest Sam Hartman defender on this show through the Ohio State game, the Duke game, the Louisville game. Hell, I even gave him a fucking break against USC, who has a terrible defense, and he still only threw 1 touchdown. I'm gonna say it right now. He's a gimmick quarterback. He's a gimmick quarterback. He only worked because he was at Wake in that system that, honestly, I feel like Mitch Griffiths, he's not as good as Sam Hartman, but he's still putting up similar numbers in that system. He's been at Notre Dame since January, had all winter, had all fall camp, and now has had 11 weeks to get comfortable in a pro-style offense. And I see people online saying, oh, Notre Dame's receivers are trash. They can't get separation. It's not Sam's fault. I can't buy that because Notre Dame gets 4- and 5-star receivers like everyone else. Now, is it to Ohio State's level? No. Is it to Georgia's level? No. But we get about the same, same guys as Michigan gets, same guys that Texas gets, the same guy that you cannot sell me that every 4- and 5-star that Notre Dame has gotten at receiver is just trash. Like they just all can't play because that's very unlikely. Sam Hartman is god awful. And you know what? It's all cool. I said this on the on the show earlier. So clap it up for Sam Hartman. Fooled everybody, but guess what? He got his money. He went to Notre Dame, got his bag, and now he's going to go be a 7th-round pick, probably undrafted in the NFL, probably make a practice squad, make it a little nice career for himself. And
he's gonna be the replacement for like the Sigma man. Like, have you seen what he looks like when he's like pissed and he like with his beard and stuff? He looks like this. He looks like the chiseled Sigma man photo.
You know what pisses me off the most about Sam Hartman too is Drew Pine. As Notre Dame fans, we shit on Drew Pine a lot last year.
Yeah, you did.
He did better with this receiving group than Sam Hartman did. That is crazy to me. That is crazy. And I don't know what it is with Sam. I don't know if it was after that Ohio State game he just lost confidence. But first of all, I'm glad he's gone next year. I hope he doesn't play in the bowl game. Secondly, Jared Parker, he might be the worst offensive coordinator in college football. The fact that we thought this experiment would work with a failed offensive coordinator at West Virginia, who's been a tight ends coach for most of his career, is just going to
VT says hold my beer with that, because we also had a failed tight ends coach who failed in the NFL for Urban Meyer.
And Phil, you talked about Freeman.
Yeah.
This is where I think this is a big moment for Freeman in the offseason. I know Jared Parker is his guy. They've been coaching together all the way back since his Purdue days.
Yeah.
You got to let him go. You can't look at these results. No, seriously, like you tell me if I'm wrong, Phil. You got to let this man go. You've got to. Either he's like, you get demoted back to tight ends coach, or you're not coaching at Notre Dame.
Right.
If Freeman comes into next year with Jared Parker as his OC, I might stop being a Notre Dame fan. That is how blatantly obvious.
That's not going to happen.
Dude, we will go. I tell you right now, if Jared Parker is the OC next year, we will go 7-5. We will be lucky to go 7, and our schedule is trash. But this dude, I could go on longer, but I'm not going to. My last thing is Audric Estime is the best damn running back in college football, and he is being so underutilized. He should be getting fucking 20 carries a game. I don't know if you guys saw his first carry against Clemson where he hurdled 3 defenders.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like 30 yards. And you'd only run him 11 times after that, Phil. 11.
That run immediately made me think I made the wrong choice, by the way.
And you know what we did the rest of that drive? You went pass, 3 and out. Yeah, you know why? Because you didn't fucking run the damn ball. Anyways, let's move on because I'm getting pissed off right now. Notre Dame team sucks besides their defense.
Okay, right. So we'll talk real quick. Try and get through these. We can maybe have an hour-long show. Texas survives Kansas State. Kansas State pretty much
blew that game.
Fucked it up. They should have won this game because they missed a chip shot field goal. It was like 20 yards or something. They made that
just would have tied it up though.
Oh, would have only tied it. Oh.
Yeah,
but then they would have gotten the next one that would have given them the lead.
Oh, by the way, real quick, Central Michigan was up 28-21 just a minute ago. Western Michigan has scored twice in a minute, and now they're up 35-28.
How much time left?
7 minutes.
Wow.
What, did they have like a pick or something?
I believe it was a pick 6.
Damn. Gotcha. Okay. So, Phil?
Yeah, so I was watching this game. I had some vested interest in this game because I actually chose K-State to win it in my parlay, which would have given. Well, actually, I lost another one, which ruined it too. But it was a pretty hefty parlay if I'd have won that one. So I was very interested in this game. and I was hanging on with every kick. My heart was in every kick that they missed, those bums. And it was disappointing. Now, the thing is, Texas got out really early to a big lead. I believe they went up like 2 or 3 scores early. And I was like, all right, so I'm just going to like lose this parlay because it's over. I don't think K-State can come back from this. And then they did and gave me some false hope. And of course, I ended up losing and falling on my face. But it was a good game. I think Texas was supposed to win, obviously, and they did that. It gives me some trepidation, though, moving forward with Texas, although I'm not sure who can beat them in the Big 12. So there's that, too.
Yeah, Kansas State should have won this game. I after this game, I know that they don't have Quinn Ewers, but I think we would all be in agreement on this panel that this current Texas team without Quinn Ewers, if they were to play anybody in the top 10, would probably lose. I think Quinn Ewers just brings a different type of energy to this Texas team, and I think it's a matter of time before Texas drops a game from here until the Big 12 championship.
Yeah. I'm not sure they lose another game, but.
Well, I mean, they play at TCU, at Texas Tech. That's a rivalry game, by the way, and it's at night. And Texas Tech beat Texas the last 2 years. I don't know if you guys have known that, but so that could be, who knows. But I guess we'll move on. Not this. Georgia outlast Mizzou. You guys made fun of me for thinking Mizzou would win this game. Brady Cook had a game-winning drive set up with, I believe, like 4 minutes left, and I don't know if who fumbled the ball.
Did he throw a pick?
No,
that was after.
No,
that was later.
The defensive lineman for Georgia picked up a fumble or something, and that pretty much sealed the game.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't watch. Ironically enough, the TV station I work for, the signal was terrible coming in because our antennas fucked up. So
but honestly,
game. So we were answering. So people will constantly call in saying they couldn't watch this game or the Alabama game. They're like, these are the 2 most important games of the year. What the fuck's wrong with you guys?
But no, I think after this performance, Missouri almost impressed me even more because they've played Georgia the best out of anyone so far. And I think Mizzou, take away that turnover, Brady Cook, and if we remember that drive, they were in Georgia territory. They were driving to take the lead. If that turnover doesn't happen, I think we're talking a different story here. But hey, Missouri's still not technically out because their one loss was outside the SEC East, so I don't believe that counts towards their division record. So they would need Georgia to, they would need Georgia to slip up once, maybe.
They would need them to slip up twice.
Yeah, they need them to slip up twice. But man, this is why they need to get rid of the East and West in the SEC because I think Mizzou. Me personally, I think Mizzou would be versus Georgia rematch in the SEC title game would be a fun watch. But
so I mean, look, I think a lot of times we get caught up in these Cinderella stories, and not to say that Missouri is necessarily a Cinderella story, although they are clearly an underdog in the SEC every year, just about. But the cream kind of rises here because I would have had a team and I don't know if we'll get to them, but Alabama, I don't know if they're one of the.
Yeah,
they are. So I'll save a bit of what I was going to say, but I would have had them on upset watch Alabama. I'm speaking of 3 weeks this year, and that's after the loss to Texas. So, but they just seem to win. They know how to win, especially in tight games. And you can attribute that to the coach who's the GOAT, but Missouri just didn't have that, if you will, right? They didn't have that know-how on how to traverse those trying times in close football games against the team that's supposed to beat you. So I think as more time goes, and it looks like they're going to have a talented haul this in the 2024 class.
And Brady Cook's going to come back next year.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So I expect them to be back to some degree next year, maybe even better next year. So we'll see what happens. But this was a good game too. And Georgia is just doing what they need to do to get back to that CFP.
So does Missouri kind of, I guess, shock you guys with how well they played with Georgia in that game?
I was shocked. I thought Georgia would cover. I forget what that spread. What was the spread? 15?
16.5 actually.
Yeah, I thought they would cover that, and so I can't say I wasn't shocked. I was shocked.
Connor.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I couldn't watch most of it because of that issue. But I mean, it was nice to see them. Georgia. I saw something that's like Georgia. The last 5 games, they've trailed in the second half at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can see that as a negative, but also is a positive for them because it shows they're coming back. They're not letting anything kind of get them down. They're not gonna let adversity push them around and stuff like that. And they're gonna come back and always be there. Which is the sign of a champ, and obviously they're 2-time defending national champs. So I think it was a good test for Georgia. It was a good test for Missouri, who is now they're no longer Darth Miz. They are now the ghost of Darth Miz, just like Anakin and Obi-Wan in Star Wars.
Dude, it sucks because if I'm a Mizzou fan, I'm thinking, man, we played Georgia to the brim. We played LSU to the brim.
In the last 3 years, they've almost upset Georgia.
Dude, and you know what's crazy is if 3 or 4 plays, like Phil was talking about, 3 or 4 plays go differently in both of those games, we could be having a discussion about an undefeated Mizzou team with wins over Georgia and LSU. Think about that. That's how close this Mizzou team is to being undefeated. And I think, like Phil said, they'll learn from this because like they're a young team. They're very young. Give this team this year. I think they'll learn from this. And I think they could be, like Phil said, even better next year. I mean, who's to say they couldn't win the SECs next year? But all right, let's get into the next thing. Washington, the Huskies, they down the Trojans, NSC. Caleb Williams cried to his mom. According to Caleb Williams, grown men don't cry, so shame on you, Caleb.
Grown men do cry. I don't know.
No. I'm using your rule. I'm using his rules against him because he made fun of Max Duggan a year ago for crying on the podium after losing the Big 12 championship. So I'm only using Caleb's rules against him. But hey, man, when you lose to Notre Dame, Washington, and who was the other team? Utah. That's what happens, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, Connor.
I'm just going to ask this question before we even get into it. Should Caleb just not play the rest of the year?
Yes. Do you think he should not play?
Do you think he doesn't? Do you think he's guaranteed to be the number 1 overall pick?
Yes. Yes.
Well, Phil's thinking about it. I think.
No, I mean, I think earlier we talked about this. Somebody said that Drake May was talking about coming back, which I thought would be his only competition for the number 1 spot. And it's not like Drake May played incredible this year either.
He's actually played worse this year than he did last year.
So
and I have May in fantasy. Both of them May's been doing better in recent weeks, but overall he's not as good this year.
And I have Caleb Williams in fantasy, and
I've been able to overcome it by using the waiver wire properly.
Yeah.
And getting Liberty's quarterback.
You know, it's crazy. I'm on a 3-game winning streak. And you know why? Because I have New Mexico State's quarterback who's getting 50 points a game.
You're on a 3-game win streak?
Yep.
I'm on like I don't even know.
I'm about to sneak into the playoffs after starting like 1-7. That's crazy.
I'm like 8-1 or 9-1 on the year.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Phil.
So I think we all nobody picked USC to win this game. Lucas may have, right? Lucas picked USC to win this game. I didn't think USC had a chance to win this game. The whole Caleb Williams crying thing, obviously he said what he said last year, so you have to stand on that, right? You can't say something, especially as like that was just it was abrasive, right? if nothing else, it was aggressively abrasive, and then for you to do it, a season later, I mean, and I get it. Caleb Williams had a lot to play for this year, right? Like he is trying to make history, trying to become only the second player ever to win back-to-back Heisman trophies. And to start the season, it looked like he was well on his way. Now, granted, they had played, my high school and the local YMCA at that point, but the numbers were the numbers, and it looked like he was Caleb Williams again. And then they played some teams, some real teams, sometimes not even real teams if you want to count Colorado in there. No disrespect to Colorado, respectfully, but disrespectfully, you guys aren't very good.
I mean, what?
That.
USC survived Cal.
Right.
They survived Colorado.
Yeah.
They survived Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, they've survived pretty much half of their wins.
Yeah.
So
I guess the only difference is, and there's no difference. He shouldn't have said what he said a year ago, number one. Yeah. And number two, jumping in the stands to cry in mommy's lap as what is he, a junior? He's a junior in college,
He's
right?
A grown man.
It's not a great look. And I don't want to, I don't want to be part of some like toxic masculinity, cancellation.
Bro, there was some tweet.
I am with Connor, and I think it's okay to cry. I think that's okay.
I do too. I do. I don't like Max Duggan. And if you look at the reason behind that, if you go back and you watch that Big 12 title game, I don't know if you remember, Phil, but Max Duggan played injured in that game.
Yeah.
He gave everything on the line to win that game, and they lost. So I understand that, but like for Caleb Williams to call out Max Duggan last year for that,
right,
publicly, and then want the same, like he wants people to feel sorry for him in the comments after he did it. And then, Phil, there's a difference between crying and having a full on break.
No, he was sobbing. That's fair. I think Max Duggan shed a couple tears, right?
Yeah,
but he was full on boo-hooing. And again, I'm not trying to laugh at that. I don't want to laugh at that.
No.
Because and by the way, the only reason that it's even a discussion at all is because of what he said not even a full year ago. So there's that.
That's why I feel like Max Duggan should have won the Heisman last year. But no, I think part of it also is it's not just the expectations for Caleb Williams, but it's also the dude talks so much.
Which I don't really have a problem with.
No, I don't have a problem with it if you can back it up. You talk all that stuff, the painting your nails against Notre Dame and Utah last year, the talking the stuff after you got your butt kicked by Notre Dame, and the fan, he's like, oh, well, he's a sheep and lions don't associate themselves with sheep. And I'm like, bro, you got your butt kicked. What do you mean? I don't think sheep or lions get their butt kicked by 28 points from the sheep, quote unquote. Right. I mean, I liked Caleb Williams a lot last year, besides the whole painting the nails thing. But every time this dude opens his mouth, it's like I just lose more and more and more respect for him. Not for his game, because dudes can ball, but it's just he's not to the same extent as Johnny Manziel. But it's because the off the field stuff. But in terms of talking, Well, I can't remember another player that was that talented that's ran his mouth as much as Caleb Williams, and then when everything's not going his way, he expects people to feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
And I just don't. Connor?
I mean, it was a classic Pac-12 after dark. That
Yeah.
was fun to watch. And it was far more entertaining to watch than Iowa Northwestern at Wrigley. Watching that made me feel like I was back in like the 1930s or something, playing at Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
Have you seen the tweet about someone took the highlights of that game, Iowa Northwestern, and then turned them into black and white and added like like the piano music, and it's just playing. It's just all this shitty play.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's I'm not gonna be one to talk about. And there were still some crazy plays Caleb made.
Yeah.
This is one. Obviously, this is like a good bounce back game statistically, I think, for him. Washington, I don't know. It's like I definitely think if they do go up against Oregon now, I think Oregon would win. I don't know, but we'll get to see that in 3-4 weeks time. So that'll be nice and fun. But that's about it.
I don't feel sorry for Caleb Williams in this situation, but what I do feel sorry for, and I know this is weird coming from Notre Dame, I feel bad for the USC program because Lincoln Riley, it's looking like he's just going to use USC as a springboard to the NFL. He's going to leave USC in a bad. I think he's going to leave USC in a worse spot than Jimbo Fisher.
Riley?
No, he's going to leave USC in a worse spot than what Jimbo Fisher left FSU in when he left. I think that's what's going to happen.
No.
So, think about it, Phil. Without Caleb Williams, this team's probably 2-8 right now. Like that. That's the real possibility without Caleb Williams.
No, but the thing is, the talent that he's brought in, right? They're going to. Let me not say they're going to be okay.
You don't think they'll transfer?
That's fair. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, look, USC is in a desperate place. When he got there, it was obviously
in a desperate place. Yeah.
What he's going to leave it in is my point. He got there. He brought in all these transfers, and he's recruited pretty well. So because when he got there, they weren't very good. That wasn't a good football team. I just think that they need 5-7 years of one guy like really bringing in a system and like implementing that. You know what I mean?
It just feels like they haven't
get back on track.
Is maybe USC not the job that we thought it was when Pete Carroll was there?
Yeah. I think that is the case. I don't know like how it's not the job there in freaking Southern California.
Exactly.
When
the fans don't care about football, like I've talked to people like because I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah, that's fair. This is a fair point.
Like people in LA don't care about football.
Yeah,
which is so odd to me. But
LA is clearly somebody can. It's not even arguable. It's a Lakers town. The Dodgers get some love, and that's about it.
Yeah. But let's get into the next thing. The Alabama Crimson Tide roll over LSU, and good old Bayou Brian and his family on their way to a 42-28 victory. Brian Kelly just can continuously not win these big games.
I think you got to take it easy here.
live it fully just living rent free in Ryan's head.
You know what?
He beat this same Alabama team a year ago. Now, I mean, not the same team, but he beat Alabama a year ago.
My point.
He won.
But anyway, LSU's lost all of their top 15 games this year. With the exception of Mizzou. But what was I going to say? What's odd about this is now because LSU and Notre Dame have both lost, they're in every single bowl projection. They're supposed to play each other in either the Pop-Tarts Bowl or the ReliaQuest Bowl.
Love how it's now a real bowl. It's the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
If we get Notre Dame and LSU in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, bro, that would be the best consolation prize ever.
First of all, when I saw that, I went to Twitter immediately because I had to get Ryan in Dallas fan. I was like, you guys are projected to play in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Pop-Tarts Bowl.
You don't think a shit ton of people will tune in to watch Notre Dame versus LSU in the Pop-Tarts Bowl?
Yes, that. By the way, that obscure ass bowl game might even have more views than
NY6?
Depending on the CFP game, right? If TCU was in like the first round against, I don't know, even Florida State, the Pop-Tart Bowl might get more views than that.
Just
game.
For the drama, just for the
just for like the whole, all that's been just for the fact that it's
What do you guys think of? And actually, I'll wait for that because I'm sure we'll get there. But my opinion on this game, simple. Obviously, LSU lost this game. I think it was a good game until Jaden Daniels was hurt. And even LSU still had a chance in life until that happened.
Was it targeting?
I'm sorry?
Was it targeting?
Man, I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
No, I was just asking because I'm kind of on the fence about that too.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about it. He and Milroe were really going back. That first half was a great exhibition of both of those guys, both running and passing. But it is what it is, man. Like injuries in football happen, and so you got to deal with it.
I think it, like, I'm not going to speak too much on this game, but I think it's just ironic how both Notre Dame and LSU fans were like, man, we're going to make the CFP this year. We're going to do this and that. And
now they're going to face each other
for
not in the game.
It's like instead of calling it the Pop-Tarts Bowl, it should be the biggest disappointment in college football bowl.
It should be the Brian Kelly Bowl. That's what it should be, honestly. No. It's the Brian Kelly Bowl.
No, it's the Kelly.
No, it's Kelly's family bowl. There we go.
The Kelly's family bowl. I like it.
Oh no, but I mean, I told you guys on Thursday, I didn't think LSU was that good. They've lost against every single ranked team they faced against Mizzou. That Mizzou game was just kind of got weird at the end of it. I don't think Brian Kelly is as good as a coach as we gave him credit for. He's a good enough. This is my thing on Brian Kelly. He's a good coach, but he's good enough to get you to 9 to 10 wins a year. If you want him to go out there and beat Alabama consistently, go beat Georgia consistently, he can't do it. He just he's not that coach. And I think LSU fans are starting to slowly realize, hey, maybe this guy wasn't as good as Notre Dame sold him to be. So, I mean, well, dude, LSU fan, this is from my mouth, not this isn't from my mouth, theirs. They think the LSU fans want him gone already.
Really?
So, yeah, they want him gone.
For who, though? Like, I think not enough thought is put into some of these decisions. Like,
dude, they fired the coach
Brian
after
Kelly,
1 year after winning a national title. So, I mean, you're talking to that fan base.
Fair. And it's not like LSU is a job that people want. So I get it.
Connor?
I mean, I got no other thoughts. I mean, it's just LSU just needs to figure out their defense.
They're atrocious.
Okay, which defense is worse, USC's or LSU's?
Oh, USC's for sure.
Yeah, USC.
But you know what's odd? You know what was the knock on the 2019 LSU national championship team? Their defense.
Yeah.
You know that their defense is statistically 2 times better than LSU's defense this year.
It can't be 2 times better. By the way, I saw another stat where Jaden Daniels' numbers to this point in the season were like favorable to Joe Burrow's at this point in the season. It's very, very crazy what's happening there.
It's just because of the defense mainly.
Uh,
So I'm looking. Let's see LSU's defense. Let me see where they rank. They're out of the top 100. What the? Oh, that's
even
bad.
VTs like inside like the top 80 or something, despite how bad their rushing defense is. Because VT actually has a good pass defense. And that's just
I believe
bad.
Michigan is the only team in college football with the top 10 defense and offense.
LSU. So this is how bad LSU's defense is. Central Michigan, Rice, Virginia, Western Michigan, Central Michigan, Texas State, and New Mexico all have better defenses than LSU.
Yeah.
They're 98th in the country in defense.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
They're 98th and Washington's 99th. So that tells you something.
That's very bad.
Oh, I didn't realize Washington's defense was that bad.
Yeah, bad. But all right, let's go on to this hot take of the week. I don't know if we have anything prepared.
I don't. Other than my hot take of the week. Wait, didn't you say Phil I had a hot take or something earlier? I can't remember. Like during our stream earlier or something. Maybe like during the CFP. You said something.
Let's see.
I don't remember.
Phil, you got anything?
For a hot take, no. I mean, my season-long hot take was that LSU will win the SEC. That's not going to happen. Thanks, Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
I don't really have a hot take. Nothing super hot this week. Michigan beats Penn State by 3 scores.
I got one. Michigan State beats Ohio State. No, I'm joking.
That would be a hot take.
No,
mine is like all I'm gonna say is mine is I already said my season long that I'll keep going and I'll keep repeating is that Michigan will beat Ohio State by what did I say? By 21 or at least I think I said either 18 or 21.
Yeah. You should put money on that one because I think I'll put money on that.
Oh,
Ohio State is not good.
I got a hot take.
Problem is I can't bet anything. Like actually, I can't do that.
Yeah,
yeah.
And North Carolina doesn't allow betting right now. That's not until January. So, but I can start betting on the Super Bowl at least and March Madness.
My hot take is Alabama will lose next week on the road in Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, at Kentucky. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's think
this
Kentucky
week, or is that next week?
This week, yeah. I think Kentucky gets them at the Krog.
Interesting.
Krog.
All right, let's do this. Heisman top 5 after week 10. Let me change that.
Oh my god! I mean, dude, I don't even know. This year doesn't feel. This year just feels like there's no.
Doesn't have a clear winner. Well, according to everyone but Phil and Michigan fans.
Well, he's fallen down my list after last week. Not that he had a horrible game. By the way, this is what's so crazy about this JJ narrative and things that are going on. By the way, and I'm not sure if you saw the thing I tweeted about JJ on third downs. Insane numbers on third downs, especially on 3rd and 7+. Insane, but I digress.
JJ McCarthy's better than Sam Hartman.
Yeah, well, he is.
And
I told you that at the beginning of the season, by the way. But my top 5 will be Michael Penix Jr. at number 1. He's at number 1 because he did win the game. That it's got to mean something. And the numbers between he and Bo Nix are marginal outside of the interceptions, where I think he's got 5 more interceptions than Penix, but he also has more touchdown passes. So there's that. I think Nix is responsible for more touchdowns though, which is another thing. Okay. Then so those guys are 1 and 2 for me right now. JJ is number 3. I'm gonna go with, I want to say Jordan Travis at number 4, but he hasn't exactly been
lighting the world on fire.
Yeah. But just for lack of having someone else, give me Jordan Travis. I think I can't say Milrow. Although let's go with Milrow at number 5. I'll go Milrow number 5.
Connor.
Oh my god. I still think it's Penix 1, JJ 2, Jordan Travis 3. Sorry, Bo Nix 3, Jordan Travis 4. Marvin Harrison Jr. 5. I don't know. I just don't know.
I got mine. Number 1, Bo Nix. I think I moved him ahead of Penix because I think, honestly, this might be a hot take, but at this point, I think it's Bo Nix's Heisman to lose. I think he's been the best player in college football this year. I mean, it's not his fault that his coach lost him the game against Washington. Michael Penix has not had very good statistical numbers the last couple weeks. I know he played decent against USC, but that dude completely messed up. He messed up my parlay, man. He only had 2 touchdowns.
Didn't he throw for like 600 yards?
I don't know. But anyway, and then number 2, I'm gonna have Michael Penix there. Number 3, Marvin Harrison Jr. Number 4, and this is a guy I think we need to start talking about. Ollie Gordon. He is the running back for Oklahoma State. The kid almost has 1,500 rushing yards, is averaging almost 200 yards per game at Oklahoma State.
Who has him in fantasy is all I want to know.
I don't know. This past week against Oklahoma, 30 carries, 133 yards. He's been Oklahoma State's entire offense. I think he actually might be the second best running back behind Audric Estime. Yeah, the kid can flat out ball. I think I got him at number 4. And then number 5, this was kind of a toss up. For right now, I'll put Jordan Travis there. But if JJ goes out there and balls against Penn State and that defense, JJ's probably going to vault into that top 2. So,
okay.
Yeah.
We don't have any stunners and bummers, do we? We are not prepared. We have not been prepared for these the last.
Golden says the Tide make the playoffs and will probably win the national championship.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
It's hot.
And you know what's crazy is we all left from them for dead after that Texas game and the USF game.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah.
All right.
Then they had like some controversy at quarterback right after the Texas game, right?
Yeah. Stunners and bummers of week 10. I'll go ahead and go first. My stunner is Ollie Gordon. The dude could flat out ball, like I said. My bummer is Dabo Swinney for being an absolute cornball after beating Notre Dame and talking about for all those people that were doubting us, go ahead and buy Clemson stock right now because it's hot. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're 5-4. You want a cookie, Dabo? Anyway, yeah, that's my stunners and bummers for the week because Dabo is, I don't know who's more of a cornball, Dabo Swinney or Ryan Day.
My bummer is
it's a tough team.
That's a tough pick right there. Ryan Day or Dabo Swinney, who's more of a cornball?
Bro, you know what we need to add to the Week 0 awards? Biggest cornball of the year award.
Yes,
like that's what
definitely.
we need to do.
And no, here, what we need to also add is fantasy player of the year as well.
Yes,
we need to add that. We need to have that. Okay. Bummer is Sam Hartman. I think he was like 13 of 30 or something.
Yeah, he was throwing Sam Darnold was throwing to Ghost.
He was throwing to he was looking for Manti Te'o's girlfriend.
Dude, no, Sam Darnold was throwing to Ghost, right? Sam Hartman was throwing to air.
Did you say he was looking for Manti Te'o's girlfriend?
Yes.
No, dude. Sam Hartman was out here airbending, bro. That's how bad that was.
And then Stunner. Oh God, what's his name? His name's like Isaac something. Garando. He's
Isaac
the backup running.
Yeah, Garando.
Backup running back for Louisville. Jahar Jordan was dinged up and apparently re-injured, some injury that he had against Virginia Tech, and Garando ended up going off for like two touchdowns, like 150 yards rushing. So,
yeah. The stunner for me is going to be Dylan Johnson, running back for Washington. I think he ran for like 250, average like 10 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns. USC couldn't stop a nosebleed, and they certainly couldn't stop Johnson. So he's my stunner. The bummer is going to be... Yeah, I really don't have a bummer. Oh no, I guess fans of the other state who just knew that the hammer was coming down on Michigan this week. It'll be another week of them saying the same things this week. So shout out to you, Ohio State fans.
Bro, I think it's hilarious that the Big Ten was like, hey, by the way, if you didn't already know, Michigan, we're going to write you a personal letter just so you know. You can expect to maybe have consequences from the Big Ten Conference. Right. But that's a maybe. But we just wanted to let you know. I know it's been in the news the last 3 weeks, but in case you didn't know, you may have consequences.
In 5 years. Because we're leaving it to the NCAA, so it's going to be a 5-year. It's going to take 5 years.
And then if JJ wins the Heisman, they'll strip JJ of his Heisman.
Crazy. And JJ, by the way, should not do like Reggie Bush did and send that thing back. They got to come get it. Come get it.
Send the repo men.
Yeah.
By the way, Central Michigan choked. They lost 38-28 in Western Michigan.
Bruh.
Seriously. And then
we didn't pick that game though.
No, we didn't because we didn't have it. I didn't get it in time.
Okay. And then what's a real quick surprise team? Do we have anyone?
Jacksonville State. I know they lost.
That's fair.
But they were tied going into the fourth quarter against South Carolina. And you know what's hilarious? Clemson fans hate South Carolina so much when they were because they in between like during timeouts and stuff, they'd show the scores around the world thing on the scoreboard. Every other score was like minimized. South Carolina and Jacksonville State had its own page on the Jumbotron. and Clemson fans started chanting "Gamecocks suck."
Well, the funny thing is Jacksonville State's also Gamecocks as well. So. they're just making fun of both teams.
And no, it was hilarious because like they kept showing it, and then you'd hear the crowd start laughing or go, "Oh!" And what's hilarious is like I had buddies of mine that are like Louisville fans, and I actually know somebody who's a South Carolina fan. They told me when I bought tickets to this game, man, Clemson fans, I'm telling you, man. They are rude as hell. They're mean, and they're entitled.
South Carolina was telling
South
Carolina.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, okay, I'll be on the lookout. Dude, I've never met a nicer fan base. Like, I'm sure if you're a South Carolina fan or a Louisville fan, they probably treat you guys like crap. But at least us Notre Dame fans, I got treated better by Clemson fans than I did my fellow Notre Dame fans. So in that game, yeah, I had a dude ask me for my seats. It's like, hey,
Wow.
can we switch seats? I'm like, dude, I paid all this money to sit here. He's like, well, me and my friends, we accidentally bought 2 different seats in 2 different sections. One's all the way up there. You want to switch? I'm like,
Hey,
no.
Wait, where was this?
Yeah, at the Clemson game. I didn't know anything.
Oh, some Clemson fan
Yeah,
was like,
and so I guess his seats were right next to mine.
he said one's all the way up there. So funny story. I'm a tennis fan. I like tennis. And here in the Washington D.C. area, they have a tennis tournament every year. It used to be called like the Leg Mason tournament downtown in Washington D.C.
Sam was
but
throwing to the Holy Ghost.
Anyway, this day it was like 1,000 degrees out there, and we go and we got like really good tickets, like right behind like the players where they serve, right?
Mhm.
Except that's not where I should have been seated. So that's where I am, and like an hour later, like this couple comes and they're like, "You're in our seats," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." I'm very indignant about like not being in the wrong seats, right? Like I'm like, "No, I'm not." Like I can read, right? Apparently I can't. So I hand the guy my ticket, and he's like, "Oh no, like this isn't your seat." And then hold on. The disrespect is he proceeded to point to where my seat was, right? It's like almost like above his head. It's so far up, right?
It was
And
in
I'm like,
heaven.
bro,
That's where your seat is.
I'm like, bro, put your goddamn
Right.
hands down. Don't point. I'll find it. Give me
no,
my
he's
ticket back.
no. All that was him just pointing out how poor you are compared to him.
Exactly.
Probably.
Dude, what pissed me off is this late. So the dude who asked me that, his wife, right? I guess their
Right.
seats were right next to ours.
Yeah.
And so they were being dicks the entire game, purposely stepping on our feet. Like when I
Really?
mean stepping, like stomping on our feet to go to the concession stands, stepping on my jacket, like my fiance's wallet and stuff.
What?
And I'm like, really, you're that mad because you're a dumbass bought tickets in the different sections.
Right.
And what's funny is we're leaving the stadium. So for the people who don't know, Clemson parking is terrible. They have one parking area for fans.
Yeah.
It's 1.5 miles away from the stadium. They give you a shuttle there, but you have to walk the rest. It's a 45-minute walk, and you have
What?
it's one big hill. Like you feel like you're
Yeah.
walking up the Rocky Mountains. That's what it's like.
Wow.
And they had like little golf carts, and I was like, man, I don't walk. So I was like, hey, can I get a ride? And it was like a Clemson guy, an usher. And he's like, yeah, of course. The couple had left 20 minutes or 20 or 30 minutes before we did.
Yeah.
Because they left before the fumble with 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And we're getting in the part. We see them motherfuckers walking up the hill, and we're like, that was hilarious. Get back. But no, just seriously, if you guys ever get a chance to go to a Clemson game, it is one of the best atmospheres I've been to. I can see why they have one of the best home fields. That place gets loud.
Yeah.
And what's weird is their stadium looks tiny.
Yeah.
Like on TV, it looks huge. If you go to that stadium in person, it's small. Like it's not even half the size of Notre Dame Stadium.
Wow.
If you can picture, it's tiny. But I guess we'll get into it. Meme team of the week. Notre Dame for losing.
Well, I feel like we could do USC and just have we could have done a bunch of memes.
Crying meme.
Caleb climbing, Caleb crying. But we didn't make them. We're being really lazy today.
Where's Josh when you need him?
Exactly.
I know, Josh. Ugh.
All right, let's get into our other stuff. Then we have one pick'em for tonight. I know that's shocking. For some reason, Lucas actually wanted me to add picks for once instead of take picks off. So I can't win. Anyway, here's the new pick'em standings. Connor and me are no longer tied. I took a 2 pick'em lead, which feels good. I don't choke like Notre Dame does. So I actually hold on to my leads. So that's great. Lucas, I don't know what the hell Lucas was doing this week. He just picked literally every game wrong. Josh was just like, "Hey, I'm just going to keep pace with everyone else." Phil, we know the story.
It's not over.
Hey, you still got the bowl challenge to catch up.
Right.
Well, remember, technically that's its own separate thing, but we still include that, right? Like it's still its own separate thing, but you can also win.
That's what I'm shooting for.
By the way, I'm going to point this out again. This is one of the best comments I've ever seen. Sam was throwing to the Holy Ghost out there. He really was.
Wow. Wow.
All right, let's get into the final pick'em. The night, Wyoming 6-3 at UNLV. UNLV's a 5.5-point favorite at home. I know, Phil, this is one of your greatest wins of the season. The Rebels are doing amazing in the Mountain West.
Blamed him.
Yeah, you want to take that UNLV win and go cash it. Go cash that check.
I mean, that looks like a good win right now. That's a good win.
All right, Connor, who are you taking?
He's not even lying. Like, it does look like a good win now.
Who are you taking, Connor?
Give me UNLV.
Ooh, okay.
Smart man. I'm taking UNLV big because we've played this UNLV team. They're a dominant team. They're one of the better Power 5 teams for sure.
That's terrible.
Power 5, you mean Group of 5?
I'm sorry, Group of 5.
Hey,
team.
UNLV might be Power 5 if they go to the Pac-12.
For sure. They should. Because apparently, not Cal. Is it Cal? No, it is Cal. Cal and Oregon State. That's the only two left.
No, Oregon State and Washington State. Yeah,
Oregon State. Oh, that's right, because Cal's going to the ACC.
They both said they want to stay in the Pac-12 and revive it.
Yeah, because they're getting all the money. You saw they're taking everybody's money and they've sued to keep it, and I like it. You guys want to leave?
No, the reason why they want to keep it is because they're going to be guaranteed to be the teams who are actually going to be winning the Pac-12.
But you know what's crazy? Is Oregon State and Washington State, by NCAA law and rule, if the Pac-12 can stay a conference, all they need is 2 teams.
Yeah,
and they can claim a conference championship every year if it just stays like this.
Yeah,
and what's crazy is that by rule, by the CFP, they would get an automatic bid.
That's
at like 1-0, like 2-0, 2-0.
Hey,
wow.
Hey guys, it's been 12 weeks. We had 12 bye weeks. What have y'all been doing?
What are y'all been doing?
No. They agree to rotate.
Like,
Oregon State
hey, we'll play on the Palouse this week. All right, you guys. Wait, hold on. You guys want to play every week? Let's go play on in Seattle or something. Let's go do like a neutral site and call it the Pac-2, the Pac-2 Bowl, or the Pac-Man Bowl. There we go.
Pac-2 Bowl.
Oh man, the Tupac Shakur Bowl. There we go.
There you go.
All right. I'll do the sponsor since Josh isn't here to do it. I'll just do it really quick. W is our sponsor. We're very grateful for them. They've been sponsoring us for almost 2 years now. If you love energy drinks and you want some natural stuff and not that stuff that you get from the grocery store that's harmful, go get you some W. It's all natural, 100%. Go to on w.gg.com. Yep, that's w.gg. Use code WEEK0 for 10% off your entire order. And go get you some Dove Sludge. They're actually releasing 2 new flavors this week. So go ahead and go get you some of that W and let them know the Week 0 podcast boys sent you.
Cool. So this has been the Week 0 podcast. We'll be back on Thursday. For Phil, Jim didn't do none. For
and
Ryan,
get my head.
I gotta get it.
I can't see it with the scroller. What does it say?
Okay.
Get rid of the banner. live from Jim's to Alexa. 4 minute Ryan Days head. Yep. For Ryan, blaming the refs for every single loss for every sport that he roots for.
LeBron can't get a call.
Oh, wow.
He whines like a bitch. That's why he's called.
That's why the Lakers filed a complaint to the NBA.
He's called
Of course they
bitch.
did.
Of course they did. La bitch. La bitch.
No, seriously.
I'm your
watch
host.
that.
I'm your host. Top left box / less happy VT man. There's a girl I've been talking to who briefly watched the stream tonight. So
Very nice.
Enjoyed my name. So
We need
They may
an
not be-
extra sub, Connor.
yeah. So, but we'll be back